I am testing. Shut up. Shut up. Hi. No. We are live on the video feed, checking the voice level of both of our microphones. How? Mm-hmm. Not worth listening to.
Okay, we're out here in suburbia land in Newberg, Oregon.
I can kind of hear you in my head, too.
Once again, to the root of it is coming from somebody else's yard.
Well, it makes the grass grow, right?
Yeah. Oh, they've just let it go dormant. They're saving about 25 bucks a month.
sit down and get your headset on.
Okay.
Go ahead and pull up the shade so I can get it in focus.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Quite alright, I guess. We're dealing with some weird lighting here because of this weird.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of focusing into the sun. Mic is on. Okay.
I just wanted to save everybody from all of that possibility. Booting?
Okay. Here we are from the Newburgh Old Fashioned Festival Parade.
Kyle say something?
Yeah, he said the old-fashioned Newburgh Festival.
Don't mean to be abrupt with you.
Oh, I'm all done.
No, I respond well to command. Yeah, I do.
Stand. Sit.
I got all of them.
Okay, remember we need to do a recology on.
Okay. No, this is
We're good.
ice water.
Oh, we're good.
Well, you guys want to stand or sit when you do the parade?
Well, probably for John, he likes to stand all the time. I'm going to need to sit some.
Okay. The chairs there. The microphones you have on-off switches. Make sure they're pushed up for on. Okay. And
Oh.
you guys will both have handheld mics.
11 o'clock.
Okay, song is over 50 seconds. We'll do news. We'll do weather. Then we'll do. You won't hear your teams about anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's on my phone, Ray.
Now, is that going to backfeed us?
I will turn it off. I just wanted to hear it coming up.
Oh, you want to turn that off? Okay, listen.
Yeah. No, that's a much normal delay. There we go. That was like 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Yeah, that one's faster than that one.
Where's your
I got him right here. I got Rufus. Yeah, I got Rufus memorized. Ooh. Yeah, when are you going to get your banner? Have you ordered your banner yet? Oh. That banner that we have at the radio station for us, which yeah, we probably should have brought it too. But that was $39.
It is 26. They only published one new question for Ask an Expert,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that good. It's about mice in the walls.
Oh, I read that. Yeah. In fact, we can remind people that now's the time to go around their house and seal up the holes so this fall when the mice want to come in, they don't
Alright,
come
we'll
in.
mention it. Well, I'll
Yeah,
bring it up.
here's a little household handy hint.
Windy?
Just
didn't want to spit in it. Oh, okay. Is that okay then? For talking? My levels?
Outside right now, it's 64 degrees in McMinnville.
Okay. Alrighty, this is Ray and Kyle with To the Root of It, coming to you live from the Newburgh Old Fashioned Parade Festival route. How
We're
about that?
right on the route. We are in. We staked up right in front of somebody's yard,
Yeah, this is like
and we're right on the parade route. I've never been to this part of Newburgh. I think I was mentioning it to you that I really rarely get off of 99 and venture into the residential area. But they've got a nice gardens here, nice growing things.
the house behind us is the backdrop for everything. It's a 114-year-old home,
Oh.
continuously lived in. You go in it, and it looks just like gingerbread, meticulously groomed antique home. I mean,
Ah.
it's like out of the back pages of Sunset magazine, and people actually live there. It's cool.
Nice.
And it's really.
And
it's
so we have a parade that's coming up. And what are we going to do? The parade starts at 10 o'clock. Is that right?
Yes.
And again we have to thank Hal Turpin for letting us have this beautiful backdrop and setting up. It looks like when I was driving in here, the whole entire street was covered with folding chairs, but nobody in them. Everybody was just laying claim to their part of the parade route ahead of time.
I saw some people who didn't want to share though.
Oh, with the signs up in
Well,
the yard.
yeah, they kind of like want to use their own property,
Right, exactly.
which is really kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
Yeah, sharing. Yeah, it's nice to share. But we do have gardening stuff to talk about. We do have weather stuff to talk about because we are the weekly gardening show for Yamhill County. And just being on location is really nice. It's a beautiful day out, Ray. Have you noticed that there's not a cloud in the sky?
no, I just did a complete 360 look about, and there is not even a wisp of fog that hasn't burned off yet, or
No haze.
or anything.
Nothing.
No haze.
Right.
It is genuinely all the same shade of blue, and then it gets progressively darker till it gets right up over the top of us. It's the most beautiful day you'd ever want to see.
It is pretty nice.
It's not real hot.
And to believe we're only going to get into the mid 80s if we're lucky.
Oh, this
It's
is
hard to believe. It seems like we should be at least getting
no,
into
no.
the
This
mid
is
90s.
honest to God. This is going to be a textbook summer day, perfect parade day.
It's the wind that is keeping us cooler, isn't it? That's what I'm noticing.
There's a little bit of a breeze, but that'll warm up as it goes. It's a northwest wind, and it's a little breezy, but not bad. As an old person, I have my fleecy
Are you
vest
old?
on.
Are you old?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I come, pre-programmed now with a fleecy vest.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a
we both started off with our KLYC tie-dye shirts on,
yeah.
but quickly had to move to something to cover us and shield us from that wind. So and that's the way it's going to be. That Rufus over there, the Weather Cafe, is predicting that we've got the summer days coming up, which is to say it's going to be hot, and then it'll likely cool down during the evenings and be cool in the mornings.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the weather right now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 90s.
Yep.
Low 90s.
This is referred to as classic summer weather.
I agree.
This is what the
This is
record
the
book-
Mediterranean. This
Yeah,
is,
this is
what
what
we've
the-
been dealing with, used to. This is what Oregon is supposed to be. It's come a little later this year, a couple of weeks, but it should be here for a few more weeks.
If there is such a thing as an average summer day, we got one,
Yes.
and it's ideal. So, folks, come on out. There's still room to park chairs. Parade's going to start at 10 o'clock, and it's the coolest small town parade I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
I've seen hundreds of them in Cottage Grove and Sweet Home and all over the state of Oregon.
Everywhere.
These guys get with a serious parade. I mean, everybody who's got a horse can ride in this parade.
That's what it is. It's the old-fashioned parade, right? So,
Horse,
so what you were
wagon.
saying, there were horses. Like that's what old is.
Yep, dress up, however you want to practically.
When are the '80s going to be old-fashioned? I mean, that's old-fashioned to.
They'll be
people-
soon, my young
Right.
friend.
No, I mean I can remember old-fashioned to me growing up, being a kid. That was Leave It to Beaver. Like that was old-fashioned, but to someone of your generation, old-fashioned is the Wild West or what?
Yep.
Dinosaurs? What
I
are we
was
talking about
Beaver.
here? But eventually, old-fashioned has to progress up a generation. So
Yeah, my mother was Mrs. Cleaver.
right. See, that was the old-fashioned to me. You're absolutely right. That was
Yeah. No.
But no, it's horses here, basket weaving, whatever else they.
Oh no,
they
this is
did back in the days.
absolutely cool.
So
So anyway, Rufus says it's going to be he fully confers that by the time to get to the weekend of August 9th and 10th, there may be a little cooling trend, and you might have a sprinkle, but not enough to quit watering the garden.
and that's what we kind of have to do.
Yeah,
We bring up
sorry.
the weather because
Yeah.
it tells us what we have to do in the garden, and this just means that we're going to have to supplement the water a little bit more. I don't know, watering as often as you need to.
Well, if you've been getting with it, like most of our listeners are pretty serious gardeners.
Mhm.
We have some people that are like you and I that garden dangerously too.
Right, close to the edge.
I'm a hazard to my mater plant.
Right. Yeah.
But because I mean, we do talk about gardening in Yamhill County specifically because it's such a wonderful area to actually be able to garden in. But
Right,
now,
because you can be ruthless, you can be forgetful, you can the weather takes care of you for the most part, but this is the dangerous time because you're not going to get that
you got to
supplemental
be pretty
rain.
vigilant now for a little while.
Those root hairs close to the surface are going to start to dry out if you don't have
Yeah.
the compost down or if you're not in a strict watering regimen. But this is the time to turn those sprinklers on. Get the morning watering done, right? You're not
Yes.
watering during the middle of the day.
And if you've got, and then keep an eye on your garden. If you've got things that don't need to be overhead watered, please water them from the bottom or drip irrigate them. So, especially like your squash and cucumbers and things like that.
Those cucumbers are growing, aren't
yeah,
they?
you got to
They're-
watch
they're
out for the powdery
spreading
mildew.
everywhere.
Yeah.
For me, those are definitely.
Figure out a way
spreading.
to water under the leaves so you don't end up having them look like cotton candy.
Yeah, I planted my
icky.
beans. I did the Three Sisters thing, where you have the corn and the beans, and I forgot what else you're supposed to plant with it. But you grow the corn. Corn grows tall,
Right.
and then
the beans climb
cl-
the corn.
climb the corn, and then the cucumbers keep the. That's what it is. It's cucumbers or squash. It's squash, really. But the squash keeps the ground cover moist.
Right.
So so I did that this year, and my beans, I just got them in a little late, but hopefully they'll catch up.
You keep a good average water on them, and keep them moist but not muddy, and they'll grow really quick because there will be good consistent heat in the
Yeah.
80s and 90s for the next 3
And
weeks. So
I knew that I put my corn in late, but it's up to 3.5 feet right now. It's got a good height to it. For me, I thought that was extraordinary until I was driving to pick you up this morning, and someone in your area has 8
10 foot.
Yeah, 10 exactly. I
Yeah.
didn't want to exaggerate, but it
no,
really
that's
is.
true. It's double the height of the fence.
It's incredible how high that is. Yeah, it's. I honestly, I thought, wow, mine's doing pretty well. It's catching up. It'll do excellent. And then just shot down because I have seen that corn so large at the county fair. They'll
Right.
bring them in to say, here it is. It's not fully grown corn. You don't have the corn, but you say, hey, this is my stock, and it's higher than anything you've ever seen in your entire life.
My sunflowers are up. They're up about 5-6 feet.
Mm.
They're supposed to be 7 to 10 feet. One's going to be a little short because it got deer bit.
Oh.
The stupid deer came through and mowed off every single leaf on it down
Tasty.
to where I had
Very
7
tasty.
stems 6 inches long. And that was all there was to the sunflower seed.
That is a shame.
And luckily, sunflowers, are pretty persistent.
Mhm.
And so I kind of forgave the deer because actually what he did was he just pinch-headed it, dead-headed it. So now I'm going to have a sunflower that's about the size of a runaway rose bush.
Wide, yeah.
It's going to be 4 feet wide and probably 5 or 6 feet tall.
But the sunflowers are coming on right now. It always amazes me how late in the season they seem to bloom, because they still got a month to go before they're fully up, and well, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's later in the season, and I haven't seen any of my sunflowers. I haven't planted any, but last year, they just fall to the ground. The seeds did.
Yeah.
And so I expected to see some of them pop up, but I haven't seen any of them come up this year.
Well, they probably got eaten by the chickens and the squirrels and the
You're
the
absolutely
ground
right. That's
the
probably
ground
what happened.
vermin.
Yep.
Because that's prime grazing for them feathered friends.
Yeah, and as an update, because I had discussed on a show a couple of weeks ago that the chickens had gotten into my my spinach and my beets, and I wasn't worried because I figured they would go ahead and grow back. So the beets have started to grow back.
Yeah,
I'm
they'll sprout
starting to
new
get those
leaves.
but the spinach didn't. It died.
Uh,
It died. The chickens have extinguished all my spinach hopes
Huh.
for the time being.
You got any seed left?
Oh yeah, I've got seed.
Oh,
and-
okay.
And that's the good thing about spinach. And again, living in
Yeah.
Yamhill County, is that you can plant that any time of the year, any day of the year. You just put it in, and
28 days, you'll have
yep.
another crop.
something. Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
Because it's 9:17 right now. Parade here in Newburgh, starting at 10-ish. So let's take a break. Right now, you're listening to The Root of It on KLYC.
Yeah, right into the Alzheimer's Care Center.
I was gonna play the memory care spot, but I forgot.
I got that immediately. I didn't even have to take a
Or you could say, I really wanted to go to that memory care class, but I keep forgetting to go.
keep forgetting. It keeps slipping my mind. That's me. Hey, reminder, your bill is ready.
Do a little recology, thank you.
Bring it back down. And welcome back. You're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC. We are We are broadcasting live in Newburgh, and for the old-fashioned parade, which is about to get started. I just saw a horse drive by.
Yeah, we're not smoking crack.
No.
We naturally came this way.
Right. No, it's starting to get crowded around here, and
People are moving in.
and no, setting up tents and everything. I even saw somebody with one of those Those folding chairs with the shade above it. Yeah, people are getting set up.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. That's only my car, but I can't do anything about it because my wife has the keys. So let's go ahead and hope that resolves itself soon. Um,
Okay.
and it does. That was great.
Oh, and plus it's a little hard. It's odd about it.
Yeah, that was great.
It's probably just Alice bit the
Yeah,
key
don't
ring.
don't mind us.
Nah,
Anyway,
nah,
so we were
no,
talking
anyway.
about the weather and how important
Yep.
it is to make sure you've got your watering regimen down. But hopefully you've put down that mulch layer that you can always just pick up from Recology there in McMinnville.
I've really got to give Mr. Turpin a shout out. He's a pretty sensible person. A lot of people just let their lawns go brown during the season here in
Mhm.
Yamhill County. They do it in McMinnville. They do it in Carlton because water's expensive,
Yes.
and you can. I mean, they save the water for the garden and the beautiful herb garden and things
Mhm.
like that, and make sure that they get the attention and let the grass just go ahead and go dormant. It's not a bad thing.
I'm glad that you brought that up because when I pulled in and we've got this nice tent set up over our head, but the grass below it, I had to when I first stepped on, I had to touch it because it is soft looking still. It's brown, dead as
Oh
dead
yeah,
can
it's just
be.
brown.
But
but
it looks beautiful.
It's
it
like
looks furry.
astroturf,
It looks
soft
furry.
astroturf.
So what is this? It's all ryegrass, right? It's
I think so. But you can see that if you put water on it for more than 20 minutes,
Mhm.
there's still green grass.
Right. It'll still
And
grow up.
that's one of the beauty of these yards here in Yamhill County is that as soon as you start putting the water to it, it snaps right back. If you need to, have a big barbecue, you can save your lawn in like a week.
But really, it is. You look at the people around here. Nobody's ashamed. It's not like the rest
No,
of the
no,
country.
no.
Nobody's
They're all
ashamed.
meticulously groomed,
Right.
mowed. They're all exactly the same length almost,
Mhm.
and very few dandelions. Or there's one little Queen Anne's lace in the middle of his yard. One
And-
little one.
And I'm glad that you brought up Queen Anne's lace also because that is definitely something I wanted to talk about. I brought in some of my own, which is now wilted, but it's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
This is the season for the Queen Anne's lace, which is a biennial plant, and it's found normally in Europe, but it was naturalized in North America and Australia because people think that it's great, and I guess it is. For me, though, when it dries up, it becomes those seeds that stick to your clothing, and so I don't appreciate bending over and seeing it on my boots or shoelaces or,
Oh
or
yeah,
something
it
like
does.
that.
Or finding them in the dryer lint builder.
Yes, and but right now they're everywhere. They're this big. There's white rosette flowers with these small little tiny flowers. And red dots in the middle of them, and the red dot is to attract the insects to come and pollinate them.
I mean, yeah, it grows along all the roadsides and stuff, but it does have some really cool properties in that it does, besides just beautifying the roadside, or invading your lawn, depending on how you want to look
Invading your
Yeah.
grass field, and
You
because
can
it be-
actually, did you know you can actually eat the root of it?
it is related to the carrot.
It's a carrot.
It is a carrot, and it's a biennial. So the first year when it's growing, it's storing all of these delicious sugars in its
Yeah.
young little root, and it's edible, perfectly edible. But by the time you get to that second year,
Yeah, you don't. You just.
it's
yeah.
a wood. It's a wood root.
Yeah, you
that
want to eat
is
the
not-
seedling on that one, folks, because if you wait till the second year, you're eating a tree limb.
And this is one of those plants that when I first moved into our place and setting up my garden, I honestly thought that I had wild carrot growing because I was pulling these things out, and they hadn't gone to flower yet. So it was just the leaves look like carrots because they're very closely related, right?
Yeah.
And I pulled it out and I smelled the root and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's carrot. Oh my, we have plenty of wild carrot. And so I went to bite it and I'm like, ooh, that's like wood. That is a wood carrot. I don't believe this is carrot.
Now this is a real interesting thing, though. It's actually could be used as a dye base,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, yeah, you think of dyeing things, you see people running around with pink, blue, green
Mhm.
hair,
Much like our tie-dye shirts.
Much like our tie-dye shirts.
But if you
But
wanted
if
a
you wanted
cream
a
color,
a creamy
color,
white,
right?
I don't know how dark a cloth it would actually turn creamy white, or how much you'd have to use. You know, a 5-pound sack for a black T-shirt. I don't know.
But this was one of those things back in the day for creating dye. That's where
Yeah.
you would get your cream color from. Is from the Queen Anne's lace.
And then there's, of course, the fun thing. It's kind of like a carnation too.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I'd never thought of, but it would be fun to do. Is to the Queen Anne's lace, because of the tubular structure of the stem, will suck up colored water.
Not every plant does that,
No.
right?
Like carnations is,
Mhm.
and that's why you just do carnations, you know, or long-stemmed flowers of some type. But
Because roses won't do that. You can't take a white rose and then stick some blue dye in there and expect
I-
it to turn
I never
blue,
tried
right?
it.
Nah. But these ones, much like the carnation, you can make them purple, you can make them blue, you can make them pink, and
yeah, so
it's
if you
interesting.
I was thinking, you know, like wedding season and stuff like that. If you didn't want a spring for $200 worth of carnations that were dyed,
Interesting.
you could pick a bunch of Queen Anne's lace and dye it blue or pink or yellow or green or whatever.
You could have any color that you wanted.
Nobody'd
from it,
know the
absolutely.
difference.
Nobody.
They just say, "Oh yeah, you got pretty blue flowers in the candy dish. Oh, that's lovely," you know. And they'd never know it was a roadside weed.
Yep. And there were
Oops.
two queens that it was named for. You've got Queen Anne of Great Britain and her great grandmother Anne of Denmark. And so you have two possible queens right there that it's actually named for. And the red dot that's in the middle of it, and it's named Queen Anne's lace because it looks
Right.
like lace. And the red dot in there is supposedly attributed to her pricking her finger and the blood that came from it while she was creating the lace. That's the.
You
that's
must
how the
need
story
a
goes.
little more mature flower to get.
Oh, the red isn't there. Definitely,
No.
the red is not there yet. These things still probably have a.
So you
a
gotta
week
wait
or
till
two.
it actually kind of matures a little bit.
Yep, to see
Oh.
that red dot.
I'll look for one while me and the dog are taking a walk, 'cause it's
Oh.
all over.
Oh, I'm
along
sure
the
you will not have a
pathways we
problem
go by.
finding
Yeah.
this, and that's
No,
why
no, no, no.
that's why I brought it up is because people
Couple of
see it and
vacant
it's like,
lots.
really, that's pretty, that's nice, but try getting a field of it, and then it's not so nice.
No,
the goats
no, no.
love it. The goats love hardly anything more than to eat this Queen Anne's lace.
It's got
It's
the
so-
sugar in it, though.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's-
sweet and tasty to them.
Getting all that sugar out of them.
Yeah, you don't want Queen Anne's lace as your cover crop.
You don't want it in your. It's dandelion. To me, it's approaching dandelion weed status for me, which is another thing. I was so proud of myself this week because I got ahead of the dandelions before they've gone to their seed, and which is another point that we should bring up is. Most of these weeds right now are going to seed, so you wanna, if you can pull them, and which I did this week because we had those couple of days of rain. I could just go ahead and pull the weeds out of my garden, which I did very successfully. But I also chopped all of the dandelions off in my yard. Went ahead and just cleared.
Yeah, you just interrupted the sexual reproduction of that flock
That's
of
what I did.
dandelions.
The tap
Yeah.
root is still there, and then
Yeah.
in about a month I'll have to go by and do it again. But
well.
I saved 1 million seeds from going into my yard, so I'm happy about that. And
Yeah.
on that note, we can take a break right now. The time is 9:30.
Yeah.
It is 9:30, 30 minutes
Yes.
until this parade starts here
Yeah.
in Newburgh. But right now, you're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC 1260 AM.
Two ads, this ad, one more, and you're back on. Yeah, don't forget there's some other results.
A Carlisle screwdriver set for $49.99. Or how about a cabbage gut gun for only $1.99? Remember, a portion of all the sales
They're
of
both
the
friends.
Intrepid Fallen Heroes tools goes to the Fallen Heroes Fund. Remember those who have fallen and stock up the toolbox now with Intrepid Fallen Heroes tools. From
Yeah.
Parts in McMinnville, Carlton,
It was-
Sheridan, Moffett, Woodburn,
People are lining up down the street like it's going to come right up.
It's like they know.
Can't miss.
It comes right through this area.
Is Southern gospel and bluegrass music is going to sound forth on Saturday, August 9th at the Valley View Air Show at Valley View Retirement Center in McMinnville. Beginning at 3 o'clock on August 9th, old time favorites take the stage for the Gospel Echoes, the Bethel Mountain Band, Jericho Grove, the Knox Brothers, and the Cragans. Be one of the first to hear a live concert with the Cragans as the group was just
mentioned that we're
going to
be selling our
by the
t-shirts
former
also at
Liberty
Timberville
Quartet
Fashion Festival.
baritone
Yeah.
Jordan Cragan.
$20
The
for
Cragans
one,
are
30 for
huge
two.
family, with the group also
So
consisting
$15
of Jordan's
for
wife,
two.
soprano Elena Cragan, Jordan's father, bass singer Ray Cragan, and Jordan's cousin, tenor Nick Adams. Come experience this new and unique group for the gospel music scene and be a part of the beginning of an incredible journey for the Cragans as their Southern gospel legacy unfolds. Mark your calendar, Valley View Air Show, Saturday, August 9th, God's Retirement Village. Turn on your radio each Sunday morning on KLYC AM 1260 for best of the best in Southern gospel music.
Hi.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, we're ready.
And we are back right here in Newburgh. You're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC 1260 AM. We've got an old-fashioned parade getting ready to start. We just talked about some Queen Anne's lace, and but you wanted to talk about some cover crops.
Well, I've been asked a couple of times about this now, and I got hit up down at the farmer's market Thursday about cover crops. People who have successfully gardened are in the process right now of harvesting their garden. You don't have to do anything to it except maybe put a little more mulch on it if you want to kill the weeds, and that's what I did. I just went over and got me another couple of buckets of mulch and covered everything up.
You went down to Recology?
Yeah, I bought myself a gift certificate.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's the coolest idea.
Right, so
And
you can go in at any
Yeah,
time
you
you
can
want.
go-
You just say, I'm here for my
Absolutely.
bucket, and they just check it off.
Oh yeah, they
Right
just
down
write down
there.
a bucket, or punch the ticket, or whatever.
I have not been down to Recology for a while because the last time I did that, I got seven units? No, I got I got
You get-
yards of that stuff, and so I haven't had to go back in a long time. But you've got the gift certificate.
Yeah, I
you
got no
keep
place
going
to
in there.
store it, so it
Yeah.
needs to go on when I bring it home.
Yeah.
I can't put it in the driveway, so it's just way more convenient. I get like a third of a yard at a time,
Mhm.
and just dump it all at once, and then I'm good for a while, and then I keep doing it. But that's a heck of a product.
Yeah.
I just dearly love, and we really thank Recology for sponsoring the show. I'd shop there if you weren't.
Yeah, they just need to offer shovels.
Because
and
I
stuff
need
like
to
that.
compost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I need to dump my stuff there. And if you're a waste management customer, you can dump for free.
Yeah. Everybody's saying hi to everybody here.
Oh yeah, it's hi everybody.
I know, it's really great.
Hi Sissy and
No, it's
Eugene.
really, we've got to start concentrating on the radio show that we're doing, but it's really getting distracting
Yeah,
watching people,
there's
everybody
just
walk
so much
by.
going on, and I'm easily distracted.
So
by
get back to the
butterflies.
cover
Back
crops
to the
here,
cover crops.
because you've had lots of people asking
I had
about
lots of
this, and
people-
so we
yeah.
have to discuss this.
I
So
I
cover
have to-
crops, when I think of cover crops, I think of clover, because that takes nitrogen out of the atmosphere, puts it back into the soil, and
Very
so
good
it's
choice.
beneficial. But when you're talking about cover crops, it's not just for nutrients. You sometimes want to keep the moisture in the soil, and you can use certain plants to do that too, right?
And the other really cool thing about cover crops is if you catch them before they go to seed. That's the real trick to using cover crops, any of them for that matter. Clover, ryegrass, fescues, any of them. You want to rototill them into the soil before they go to seed, and then you let them biodegrade, and then they become a wonderful, wonderful additive in the soil and breaks up your clay and lasts for several seasons, even on the small garden plot. And there's a really cool site at Cornell Gardening Resources that I looked at that actually tells you for like the small farm gardener, the person with just a 10 by 10 garden in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
exactly how many ounces of seed you need to have a suitable cover crop to achieve uh, the benefits of the organic material and the nitrogen from the cover crop.
Yeah.
And trust me, 2 ounces of clover seed is a heck of a lot cheaper than a $30 bag of fertilizer.
Yeah, and Cornell, it's a pretty reliable source. You know, they're basically the ag school of the Ivy League.
Yes.
But awesome resource, and when you get the science behind all of this, they're like, no, trust us. If you want your oats, just put this down, and it'll be. And it's funny that you mention all of these cover crop possibilities from the website there. Perennial grass, winter rye, oats, winter wheat, sweet clover, white clover, tall fescue, buckwheat. Now, as far as cover crops go, I don't really, I've never considered grass a cover crop necessarily because it's for me it's always robbing the nutrients out of the soil,
That's
and
you
it
know,
uses them.
I've kind of gotten used. Well, it does, but not that much.
Mhm.
It uses whatever's left from your gardening,
Mhm.
um, but it contributes so much nitrogen and fiber to the soil as it breaks down and biodegrades that it actually makes up way beyond what it took out of the soil to grow in
Hmm.
the first place.
Yeah.
That's its gift. Like like you mentioned, clover, red clover, white clover, sweet clover. They all collect nitrogen from the air, deposit it into their root system, and then the fiber and the stems break down really easily. I mean, that's why rabbits like it. It's easy to chew, um, and it breaks down within a matter of weeks.
I was looking at this buckwheat, and it's really I've seen this fields of this white flour, and sometimes I mistake them for the radishes. Excuse me, which I was actually driving through the farmlands. Those radishes, they've gone ahead and I don't know if they cut them or what they do with the radish seeds, but they're all dead now, and they're all
Yeah.
but they're all standing upright, perfectly upright. Um, but the buckwheat, it looks like they've gone ahead and they've trimmed that down. And buckwheat's one of those cover crops. But it does look like a lot of these cover crops are coming to an end. I saw the clover, and the clover they went ahead and they let it die because they're getting it for the seed
Right.
on the farms. So it's not just a little small cover crop. You know, they're actually they're harvesting the seeds from there so that you guys can plant them in
your garden this winter.
That's a cover crop, right?
Yeah, right.
Um,
And you, depending on when your gardening matures, kind of determines when you start your cover crop. Because you want to go ahead and harvest completely and get the rest of your debris off and any
Mhm.
dead, damaged, or diseased material like the powdery mildewed squash leaves, that sort of stuff. You want to get that off your soil, and then overseed with whatever you've chosen for your cover crop. And there's very minimal research needed to decide whether or not you want cover crop for low pH soils
mm,
or high pH soils, like around your blueberries. You have higher pH or more acidic soils.
Right, so it's
Am I
low.
saying that right?
yeah, no, lower pH for the acid.
Yes. Okay. Lower pH soils around your caneberries and your blueberries and things of that nature because they like slightly more acidic soils. So
Mhm.
there's cover crops that grow in slightly more acidic soils,
Right.
and that's really cool to figure out. And
But the reason for the cover crops is also bare soil. You don't want bare soil.
no,
You get that's where the weeds come in. That's you don't get the nice mycorrhizal. I can't ever say that word. You're not getting the good fungus that's in the soil layers. If you don't have a nice little cover crop, you're more prone to the soil erosion just washing off. So putting a cover crop up there is a good idea for me. It's always clover.
oh, I'm sorry, I butterflied out again. That 58 vet goes by and I just lost.
Is there a parade that's getting prepared for? That's really funny. That's great. Yeah, the kids are lining up. You know what that means. That means that there's going to be that candy getting thrown. Perfect day for it. We're not going to have the candy in the gutter, the wet
No,
gutters
you
today.
can pick it all up.
No, it's going to immediately shatter when it hits. That's the thing that I found out about the Yamhill because I'm done with the candy being thrown, but I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
I think there are other
You're not
things
out
that
there
they
chasing,
might be able
beating
to
up
do.
on 4-year-olds
right,
for the
exactly.
Tootsie Roll.
But you've got this hard candy, like a Jolly Rancher or Suckers or something. But as soon as it hits the ground, the asphalt, it shatters immediately. So you end up with this shattered candy. And there's just got to be more effective things. Plush toys, Beanie Babies. Why don't they just start throwing out Beanie Babies or hats?
Oh my goodness.
Foam one finger things.
Dog toys, chew toys.
Chew toys. Yeah. That's a good one. Dog bones. Just
Yeah.
start throwing out dog bones for parades.
Take something home to the puppy who's had to sit on the couch while you were at the parade.
Oh, don't put me in charge of the parade. I guess they'll no
Okay.
longer be fun. But it really is. It's getting crowded here. It's getting set up, and this is done. I'm actually getting ready to take off my overcoat here that I have on because the wind has started dying down
Yeah.
and the heat is set up. We got Dave talking to everybody that's walking by.
See, now there's puppies.
There are dogs. I don't
Yeah.
see why there wouldn't be dogs.
They'll show up on our YouTube video in 30 seconds.
That's right. And just to mention, we are streaming on YouTube. Actually, you just go to KLYC.us. There is a link there to where we are streaming. If you want to catch this show or any of our previous shows, we're available on YouTube. You just go youtube.com and search KLYC to the root of it. And right now, I was looking on my phone because it's smart. It's a smartphone. I went to the Facebook site because we've got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And so I went there, and we are streaming on Facebook. You just go to facebook.com, KLYC Radio, and there we are. We are everywhere. We're not just on the grainy 1260 AM anymore. It's
No.
an expansion into the multiverse of the internet, and that's really great.
We're multimedia.
We come in really crisp on my phone. I was surprised to hear that. I pulled that up. Well, here comes the paddy wagon. It was only a matter of time. We've got the Newburgh Dundee Police paddy wagon driving by. Police command. They are for you, Ray.
I'm going back, and sure enough, I haven't done anything naughty in several days.
And there was definitely nothing old-fashioned
Nothing that they
about
wouldn't
that.
have arrested me for already if they'd caught me.
Right.
Yeah, they wouldn't be tracking me by now.
Yep. So back to gardening. What did you get anything done in your garden? I know what I did, and I mentioned it briefly, and I was really proud of the weeding
You
and
did good.
the dandelion atrocities that I've committed this week. But for me, I was pulling up weeds that were 3 feet tall. That Ansley's, they get that taproot
Yeah.
in them, and
Did I tell you
they
about
are
the
hard to
bad
come
thing
out.
I did?
I guess not.
I did a bad gardening thing.
All right.
I'm not a perfect gardener, folks.
We're
I'm
not,
sorry.
and that's
No,
the whole
no, no,
point
no.
about being a
We're
master
struggling
gardener.
with it just like you
Constantly
are
learning
sometimes.
and constantly forgetting what we've learned.
Excellent